What up, though, people? It's your boy Rod here on the Young Old Head Talk podcast. Like, so you got my guy Fresh here with us. It's just me today, but my guy Fresh is backstage. Sherman had to handle some business, but like, so you guys are stuck with me today. If you guys are cool with that, I hope so. But let's jump right into it. So, NBA schedule release came out today. Like, since the dog days of August, nothing much going on in the NBA world. So, this schedule is kind of like a break for NBA fans to give us something to look at, and this gave us something to look forward to. They kept leaking the games the last couple of days or whatever, the Christmas Day games, the Martin Luther King Day games, all that type of stuff. So the full schedule, 82 games, is finally out right now. 41 at home, 41 on the road. Let's jump into our guys, the Detroit Pistons. The season opener is October 19th against the Orlando Magic. Paolo Banchero, Jonathan Isaac, Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner against Cade Cunningham, Jay Nivey, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Duren, Killian Hayes, whoever else you want to throw in there, those guys will be there. Like I said, it should be pretty exciting because, like I said, you want to start off the season well. I feel like teams who do well genuinely start off the season well. So you want to dive into it. You want to hit the ground running with success. And this game can allow us to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think we'll start up the season 1-0, and then so we got some other important dates. Games against teams like Sacramento because the whole Keegan Murray, Jay Nivey thing. I think we played Sacramento in, I believe, early December. And you got the West Coast road trip, which has been early for us the last couple of years. I think that's in late November around Thanksgiving time. So that we'll get that out the way because the the West Coast road trip is always dreadful for teams on the East Coast and the Midwest. So if you can get that out the way, that'd be perfect. It's a really exciting time, hopefully, for this season coming up for Pistons fans because, like you said, we've got pieces in place. We have not had this in a long time. Pieces that we can feel successful and hopeful about. It's been a very, very long time. We have not had a Cade Cunningham or a Jay Nivey really since like homegrown prospects since like the Grant Hill days. It's been a long, long time. So I really hope that we can, right this ship. Troy Weaver has done a great job so far, doing this thing, getting this thing together. Please, I really, really would like for the Pistons to get this together this year. I understand if we're not able to make the playoffs. I want us to be able to at least sniff the play-in, but if we can't make the playoffs, it is what it is. Because, if we can get another late lottery selection, what does that bring? More talent, youth, Yeah, we need more vets and more shooting, but if we can get a young guy who can come in and play with Cade and Ivy and Duren and all those other guys, that would be 100% fine with me. And I think the rest of Pistons faithful will be just fine with that. But yeah, that's it on that topic. Let's get to the real thing we're here for. As you guys can see my name, if you know, Rodrigo. Hard Knocks. We weren't here for you guys last week, so I'll be able to recap preseason game, week 1 of Hard Knocks, and then week 2, which came out yesterday of Hard Knocks. Let's start week 1 of Hard Knocks. So, soon as you come in, you just get the whole, feel of what Detroit is about and seeing how the fans are so faithful and how they've been through so much, these tough times, the good times. There's not many good times, but tough times mostly, It just felt so good to see the city shown in a decent light, even though it's still not the best. It still felt great to see some sliver of successful hope. And let's talk about Dan Campbell, man. Or as they say, MCDC, my coach, Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is a guy, if I was a player on the Lions, if I was any player in the league, Dan Campbell's a guy I would want to run through a wall for. He gets the guys hype. He tells you what he needs to tell you. He might not tell you in the best way, but he gets the message across. And the players hear him. As you guys saw last year, it was evident. Guys wanted to play for Dan Campbell. You see how bad that defense was. Those guys went to work every day and were made a decent product by Dan Campbell, and shout outs to Aaron Glenn too. But like I said, when you're devoid of talent, you need a good coach. And right now we're kind of devoid of talent, especially on defense. When you have a good coach who a guy you really want to fight for and strive for greatness with, man, there's really nothing better than him. Of course, good talent also helps. But when you don't have that talent, you want guys who are scrappy and work hard and are hungry. We got those guys now because Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes brought those guys in. So, shout out to Dan Campbell on that front. Another guy I want to shout out to, two guys, is Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn. They're dynamic. The way they play off of each other, an offensive guy, defensive guy, it's great. Two former players, two former really good players. Aaron Glenn was a Pro Bowler. Deuce Staley was a Pro Bowler. Two really good players in their heyday. Like I said, they're dynamic, man. It's great to see, because it's also good to see how many minorities, coaches that we have on this roster, how many former players bringing that former success that they had, and all these ins and outs of the game that they know. They played the game. They've been in between the lines, as Deuce Staley likes to say. They've been in between the lines. They went out there and fought, went at war on the grass, on that turf. So when you have guys who have been through that before, there's nothing like the experience. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, really invigorating to see these guys, like I said, want to fight hard and want to work hard for these guys. Malcolm Rodriguez, who's been, a darling, so to speak, for the first 2 episodes of Hard Knocks. 6th round pick out of Oklahoma State. He's an undersized guy. He's about 5'10", 5'11", 210 pounds, so something like that. I really think he can be a decent linebacker in this league. The only thing that limits him, to me, is his size. In this day and age, you want linebackers to be around 6'1", really in the 6'1" to 6'3" to 6'4" range. And then you got outliers like Fred Warner for like 6'5", 230, something like that. But if he was like 6'1", 6'2", like prototypical linebacker size, he might have gone in the first round. So one thing you can't teach, though, is heart. And Malcolm Rodriguez has a lot of heart. You see Kelvin Shepard, the linebackers coach, who's also a former player, played for the Lions a couple of years ago. You see he's falling in love with him. You see the defense. You've seen Aaron Glenn, even Deuce Staley, Hank Fraley, all these coaches. They love this guy. Dan Campbell, he loves him. The first thing he said was, I love training camp because I get to hit people. When you have that mentality going into your rookie year as a 6th round pick, the sky's the limit for you. Nothing can't stop you. Like, so when you have heart, you have everything. As Kevin Durant says, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. And that saying really falls in line with what Malcolm Rodriguez has done so far. Another thing I would like to see, I kind of want to see Jeff Okudah. I would love to go inside on his story, because coming out of college, he was a great player in college. Number 3 overall picked before Justin Herbert and Tua Tagovailoa, specifically Justin Herbert. But, you pick before these guys, quarterbacks who could have shaped the rest of the future for the Lions, and you come in, you haven't really done anything. You had one decent game. And yeah, it's just been straight disappointments just about. And like I said, but he has talent. He's a number 3 overall pick for a reason. He almost won a national championship in college. Granted, there was a boatload of talent in Columbus then, but still, he was the number 1 corner there for a reason. Ryan Day and Urban Meyer brought him there for a reason. So I believe he has the talent to be something in this league. Now, will he live up to the billing of number 3 overall? I don't know. That remains to be seen. But I'm excited to see where this story goes and where this franchise goes, because like you guys already know, I love the Lions. Sherm loves the Lions. Fresh loves the Lions. Most of the city of Detroit loves the Lions. But the Lions have broken us. They've given us some very, very tough moments. I won't go into them because you guys mostly already know them, but they've given us some very, very tough moments. So like I said, it's good to see and have hope this time, because when your sports teams don't have hope, there's just a different feeling around the city. Like, I remember when I was growing up, when the Tigers were really good and the Red Wings were really good, there was just a certain aura in the city that you could just feel. People seemed happier. Everybody was just walking down the street, going to games. Stadiums were packed and full. Seeing your guys on national television, it was just a sight to see. And now I feel like that feeling is starting to come back just a little bit. I'm not going to say it's back, because I would not be telling the truth, but I feel like it's coming back, like, slowly but surely. And like I said, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, those are 2 guys that I think potentially can lead a franchise. Super Bowls, NFC championships, that stuff remains to be seen. But to success out of the divots that the Lions have been through during these past years, they're getting us out of that. They're pulling us out of the hole. It's like we're so behind from other franchises. Stuff like 10-win seasons to us is success. Stuff like that seems like Baltimore and Green Bay, that's a losing season to them. There's just different barometers of success around the league. And I want the Lions to be a team where we say a 10-win season isn't good enough, an 11-win season isn't good enough, making an NFC championship isn't good enough. I want to be one of those teams that people see on the schedule and they're like, whoa, we got to play the Lions this year. You know, we got to go to Detroit. I want to be that team. I don't want to be the team where they're like, oh yeah, we got the Lions, easy dub. I don't think we're that team anymore. And like, but the thing that kills me is the national media is starting to realize this. And I feel like since the national media is starting to realize this, that's going to do terrible things for the franchise, because it seems like, as Lions fans, you all know, every time it seems like, you know, the national media, people start talking good about us, boom, what happens? Non-success. It's happened a couple of years ago, happened when Matt Patricia got hired, happened after we went to the playoffs 2014, lost to the Cowboys, you know, it happened then. It just seems like it never fails. So I hope this time is different. But I say all that to say the city seems like it's starting to come back to realize that this team is actually, you know, it can be something. And like I said, Dan Campbell, man, what a guy. As he says, man, after every sentence, what a guy, man. What a fighter. Because he was giving absolutely nothing here, except a decent O-line and a good tight end and a good running back. He was giving nothing. He's basically built this team from the ground up, but he's not done yet. He's not done yet. And that, we're not even talking about the draft next year. We have 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick, I believe, next year from the Rams. And with a boatload of cap space potentially, we're talking about high-level guys that we can add next year. You know, to shore up the linebacking core, get another defensive lineman, get another cornerback / safety, whoever you want to get, you know, to help this team get better and start competing. Because like I said, once you become competitive, that's when other teams start to realize. You know, once you start fighting hard and winning games, don't get me wrong, fighting hard and winning games, 2 different things. Once you start fighting hard and winning games, we already got the fighting hard part down. But once you start winning games too, that's when everybody starts to take notice. And that's when things take off. So, but yeah, so preseason game number 1 turns out to be an L, 27-23 against the Atlanta Falcons. Man, I don't even know what to say. It was another fluke Lions play that makes you think like, man, this junk might not happen. You know, like this positive turnaround, it might be too early for this. Desmond Ridder, the rookie quarterback from Cincinnati, who's now in Atlanta. You know, it's like 4th and 3. You know, it's like 20-yard line, 3 minutes left to go. No, excuse me, 1.5 minutes left to go. We turned the ball over, 3 minutes left to go. That's how we ended up losing the game. With 3 minutes left to go, he scrambles outside the pocket. Defensive end barreling down on him, he tosses it up, and then some guy just plucks it out the air, and it's right there, touchdown. You're like, but in the back of your head, you're like, this is like normal Lions stuff. It's like the Lions have given us every way to lose the football. I've seen record-breaking field goals. I've seen non-calls. I've seen, you know, overturned calls. I've seen bad calls, you know, bad Lions calls. I've seen just about everything, and it's kind of disheartening that we found another way to lose a game. This is preseason, so, you know, I'm not going to take too much stock into it. But, you know, you still want to win every game you go out there and play. You don't want to go out there with the losing mindset. If you go out there with the losing mindset, if you go out there and say, hey, we can't do this, we're going to lose, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose. So you can't go out there with, you know, the losing mindset, losing mentality, because that's what Detroit fans are trained to have, a losing mentality. We can't do that anymore. You know, we got guys that's trying to, you know, right this ship, turn this thing around. No more losing. Losing is not acceptable here. Losing was acceptable in the past. It's not acceptable here no more. And that's what I love about this regime. They're trying to take us to new heights we have never seen before. Have not won a playoff game since 1991. That was 31 years ago, folks. And after the season, if we don't win one this year, it'll be 32 years. I'm only 19. So just think of my whole lifetime, just tack on 13 more years. That is, and the Lions have not won a playoff game in that time span. That is a long time. That is a long time. But like I said, we're talking about the preseason game, so let's get back to that. A guy I like to see, you know, more of is Chase Lucas. He's a 7th round guy, about 5'11", 5 and 11 and a half, 170 pounds, nickelback out of Arizona State. I saw some nice things out of him. I saw some good things on special teams. He had the game-winning interception, ended up dropping it, you know, and as you saw in Hard Knocks, he was just so distraught with himself because if he picks that off, the game is done. The game is over. But yeah, I liked his tenacity. I liked his, you know, his play on in the inside on the nickel, you know, locking guys down. Like, so he almost had a pick too. So that's a guy I'm kind of excited to see. Obviously, as you see by my name, Rodriguez, or as the coaches and defense affectionately calls him, Rodrigo, as he showed me some good things. He showed me some plays. Like I said, I haven't seen from some Lions linebackers in a long time. These aren't the days of Jared Davis. I hate to say it, but he's back on the roster. Jelani Tavai, all those guys I can't even think of right now. Jamie Collins, guys who just were not good linebackers for us at least. It could have been great somewhere else. Jelani Tavai is probably out of the league right now. But like it was just refreshing to see a decent linebacker for once. And so I really, really hope that Rodriguez, aka Rodrigo, can turn into something. He might not be a star. He might just be a special teams player. We don't know. He can be somewhere in between there. It'll just be very fun to see this development. Another guy, obviously, I like to see is Aiden Hutchinson. Hutch made some nice plays. First 2 plays, he got a tackle for loss, and he got 2 tackles for loss, actually. I mean, I just really hope he's not a guy that has 1 or 2 moves, as they say, 1-trick pony or 2-trick pony in this case. Hopefully he can develop his spin move, his bull rush. He's got an inside dip, and he's got a bit of a spin move. But if he can develop those, the swim and the bull rush, all that type of stuff, because he's got the athleticism and he's got the body. So if he can to keep toning his game, the sky's the limit for that kid. Because he's number 2 for a reason. We took him over Kayvon Thibodeau for a reason. So they had to see something in him. The coaches see it. Everybody says, hey, this guy might be something. And once you see that, if you feel confident enough to take a guy number 2 overall, he's got to be some type of good. So I feel like if we can just keep developing everything, his whole game, because his game is nice now. If he can keep toning it up, making it better, like I said, wow, we've really, really got something. But that's about it. You guys already know the offensive line is great. Jared Goff looked pretty solid. Backup quarterback situation is a mess. We don't know what we're going to do with that. Receivers look good. St. Brown looked pretty good. I don't think DJ Chark played. Hawkinson looked okay. Swift is Swift. Offense looked great, especially the first string offense. Got a bit of a scare yesterday with Vitae going down in the injury, but they say it's just a little Nick Dinger, so everything's fine with that. So once that first string O line comes, and you got Goff and Swift and Hawkinson, and Chark and St. Brown, J-Mo comes back. We haven't even talked about J-Mo yet because he's injured, can't do nothing. So that's another piece, like I said, that we've got stashed away. Once he comes back, he could be our next Tyreek Hill / Jalen Waddle. Go out and stretch the field, so guys like St. Brown can come down the middle, so Chark can be able to get those intermediate / deep routes, because Chark is a big body. J-Mo's not small himself. He's slighter frame, but he's not small. It's like 6'1". St. Brown is like 6 foot, 6'1". You got these decently sized guys just running around you, getting straight separation every day. Man, this offense can really be something. And then just say we add a high level quarterback to this team. Sure. The goal after this season, to me, going into next season, is shore up the defense, especially the linebacking core. And then if Jared Goff is not your guy, get your guy. Get a high level quarterback. That's really that's really all I'm saying in this. Get your guy at QB. Could have got your guy a couple of years ago. Could have got your guy last year. But let's finally get your guy and then get that defense together, because Aaron Glenn is a guy who knows the ins and outs of football. And he can lead a defense to, you saw what he was able to do, in New Orleans. When they had guys like Marcus Williams, Marshawn Lattimore, Demario Davis, Von Bell, all those guys. You saw all that potential he was able to squeeze out of those guys. Resurrect some of their careers. Because Demario Davis, when he went there, his career was basically dead. Now he's a Pro Bowler. Thanks to who? In part, Aaron Glenn. Give him some talent and let him work. Simple as that. But with that being said, that's pretty much all we have for you guys today. Like I said, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like I said, whether taking the trash out online, ordering some pop dolls, as you guys see behind me, ordering some shoes, whatever you guys are doing, I appreciate you guys lending an ear, hearing what I got to say. And with that being said, we appreciate you guys, and you guys stay straight, stay smooth. We'll catch you guys next week. See you guys later.